Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of the Coffee Course, and today we're going to be talking about the Aeropress. So the Aeropress is really handy. It's great for making a single cup of coffee at home. It's easy to travel with. It's pretty compact. One of the biggest things people worry about is which filter they should use. Should be metal or paper, but they really both work fine. So we're going to be using a pretty straightforward standard recipe, 14 grams of coffee to 200 mils of water. One of the most important things to make sure is that the vessel you're using to put your water into is big enough that it won't get yourself a burn, because the Aeropress can do that. So we're going to be using 14 grams of this great seasonal coffee from the local roasters, Calendar Coffee. This is the Eduardo Campas from Peru. Going to get nice notes of red berry and rose. Let's kick it off. Okay, let's pop our Aeropress onto our scales to start. And we're going to have a nice piping hot kettle of water. Preheat this kettle if you can. Make sure the water is as hot as possible. We've ground our 14 grams of coffee. One of the most important things is grind size. We're doing our best here to give you an example of what it should look like. Wet your paper filter. This preheats your vessel for the coffee as well. Make sure your scales is set to 0. You have your ground coffee on hand, 14 grams. Have your timer ready to go and your vessel wet and preheated. And have your jug of hot water as hot as possible. Preheat the jug and use the hottest possible water you can. Tear your scales to 0. Pop in your 14 grams of coffee. And then tear your scales one more time and start your timer. We're going to do nice concentric pours straight up to the 200 mils. Once you hit 200, grab something to stir your coffee with and give it 10 good stirs. Once you have this done, grab the lid for the Aeropress, pop it on, and we're going to wait for 1 minute and 15 seconds. Okay, so the method we're using today is called the inversion method. We're going to be ready at 1 minute 15 seconds. I'm going to pop this back off. Give it another 10 stirs. Now this is the bit where making Aeropresses where people generally find difficult. It's where you just have to trust that it is going to work. Pop your lid back on. Make sure the seal is good and tight as possible. Have your vessel to hand that you're going to use to pour into. And then just flip it straight over and you're good to go. This process then, once you begin the press, should take about 10 seconds in total. You want to listen to this as it goes through and wait for a little hiss of air, and that's when you're going to know the coffee is ready. Once you hear that hiss, you can stop pushing. So if you find this too difficult to push the coffee through, the chances are that you've probably ground it too fine. And that's your Aeropress. So, Tom, that was the very first episode of the Coffee Course. We did a bit of Aeropress. What do you think about Aeropress?
Yeah, look, it's great. I know all my good friends love Aeropress. It's great for travel, really good for if you just need a quick cup of coffee in the morning. You know, it's only a minute brew time. It's great. There are a little few, you know, it's a little less cleaner coffee than, say, what we did with the V60.
Yeah.
The only kind of thing I have a little bit of a problem with is a lot of people say it is an easy, quick clean, you know, you just bang it out at the end once you've your waste coffee, but you just have to be a little bit careful if you're doing the inverted method and you don't put up the seal on right. You know, I've seen people...
It's all too easy to...
all too easy for it just to come out in a horizontal plane and just destroy you, you know. So you have to really be careful. You know, it happens, so we have to make sure like the seal is on right, and as well with the inverted method, you know, there is a little bit of an issue of it, you know, some spilling out, or if you're pushing too hard it might push out over the seal. So in my opinion, just in terms of cleanliness, I just love the easeability of the V60, because all it is pick up your filter and, you know, throw it in your compost. It's great. And other thing is as well, the seals can go on the Aeropress, and if they harden too much, they don't create as strong a seal. So you might have to go through a few of those maybe over the years, which isn't a huge thing.
I suppose the interesting about Aeropress though is that it's probably one of the most modern versions of coffee making. It only came around in early 2000s.
Yeah, it was the same guy who made the Frisbee, you know, the Frisbee with the holes in them, the ring Frisbees. It's the same guy who made the ring Frisbees as the Aeropress, which is, you know, quite impressive.
A bit more forgiving than other coffee makers, do you think? As in, a bit more latitude with the coffee when you make it?
Yeah, big time. As compared to the V60, yeah, you know, it's quite controlled. Seeing as it's a cleaner cup of coffee, you've a lot, you've a lot less solubles going into the V60, or whereas in the Aeropress you can kind of hide it a little bit more. You know, if it is a little bit off, you can hide it.
And so next episode we're going to be doing V60, I think. Or rather, you're going to be doing a bit of V60, I think.
You just did the Aeropress, which is great, and I'm going to try out doing the V60. Yeah.
Great. So guys, you want to get in touch? You can message us down below, or you can find me on Tree Bark Store's Instagram, or you can find Tom
with Pangea Coffee Culture.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks very much, guys. It's the goddamn best cup of coffee I've ever had.